Hey guys, welcome back to REZZED Gaming News on Clownfish TV. This is Kneon, and we have an update, a disappointing update, in the Nintendo versus Palworld versus Pocket Pair lawsuit. And yeah, apparently you're not going to be able to glide anymore in the game, that they're going to have to remove that mechanic. We're going to talk about it. I think Nintendo is overstepping here a little bit. They're going out of their way, I think, to cause as much harm to Palworld and to Pocket Pair as possible. And I think it's strictly because of the sales. I think if this game had just been another independent monster catching game and it didn't really sell all that well, it was nothing remarkable, I don't think there would have been a problem. But because this game sold incredibly well and was one of last year's best-selling games on Steam, I believe, and has a pretty fervent fan base, it is a bit of a threat to Nintendo. So they're gonna act like the Disney of video games, which is very much what they are. And it's so funny because they used to complain about Atari back in the day, right? Atari and Universal and all these companies, bullying poor Nintendo, and now they have become the bullies, in my opinion. I believe Nintendo have become the bullies. It's still like their games, but I gotta tell you, this is not a good look, guys. This is the same Nintendo that has gone out of its way to try to completely destroy people that were facilitating emulation. And yeah, I can't really get on board with this. So for those of you who don't know, a little bit of a backstory here. Pocket Pair got sued by Nintendo for, I believe, patent infringement, which basically means Nintendo is just going to bully them. No. So I guess there were some game mechanics in the game that Nintendo said they had patents to. Now this is a Japanese company versus another Japanese company. If this were an American company or American companies, I don't think we'd be having this conversation right now. But because they're both in Japan, we're having this conversation. What concerns me about this is the precedent that it sets, right? So if Nintendo can force game developers to change mechanics in games that they patented, then that means nobody can compete with Nintendo on anything, really, right? Because they're going to be like, oh, we have a game that has that mechanic, and we have a game that has that mechanic, and this other game, well, we use that mechanic. Oh, we made this game 30 years ago. We did it first, so you can't make a game like ours. So if we do it first or we patent it first, you can't compete with us. And I don't think that's right. I don't think it's right. I think it's a really bad look for Nintendo. Polygon has it, and we're going to talk about it. The Verge has it, and we got the letter from Pocket Pair. Let's see, this was posted today. I guess we'll go out and look at that first. On their blog, Pocket Pair posted regarding the lawsuit. There are changes to Palworld in the future. We'd like to express our sincere gratitude and appreciation for the continued support of our fans over the past few months. We apologize for not being able to share as much information as we'd like, but we trust our fans understand how difficult it is to be fully transparent while litigation is ongoing. Yes. Currently, we remain involved in a prolonged legal proceeding regarding alleged patent infringement. We continue to dispute these claims and assert the invalidity of the patents in question. However, we have had to make certain compromises in order to avoid disruptions to the development and distribution of Palworld. On November 30th of last year, we released a patch for Palworld that removed the ability to summon pals by throwing pal spheres and instead changed it to a static summon next to the player. Several other game mechanics were also changed with this patch. As many have speculated, these changes were indeed a result of the ongoing litigation. So you're not allowed to stuff animals into balls and throw them, I guess, because that's too much like Pokemon. Everyone here at Pocket Pair was disappointed that this adjustment had to be made, and we fully understand that many players feel the same frustration, unfortunately, as the alternative would have led to an even greater deterioration of gameplay experience for players. It was determined that this change was necessary. So I have to wonder if they win the whole thing. Now, I don't know where they're at currently, but if they win the whole thing, could they just go back and change everything back to the way it was? Just be like, yep, balls are back, baby. Furthermore, we regret to inform our players that with the implementation of patch version 0.55, we must make another compromise. From this patch onward, gliding will be performed using a glider rather than with pals. is Nintendo going to go after them and say it's too much like Breath of the Wild? PALs in the player's team will still provide passive buffs to gliding, but players will now need to have a glider in their inventory to glide. We understand this will be disappointing for many, just as it is for us, but we hope our fans understand these changes are necessary in order to prevent further disruptions to the development of Palworld. We also want to extend our apologies to our fans for the discomfort and concern this ongoing litigation has caused. We remain committed to developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content to our fans. On behalf of everyone at Pocket Pair and Team Palworld, thank you for your continued support. Now, there are Nintendo stands, I'm sure, that are going to be thrilled. They want to see this game taken off the market. I don't think it's going to happen. It's too popular, and Sony's involved. Now, Sony actually has a deal with them to produce anime and toys and stuff, and that might be part of what got Nintendo's attention. I mean, they were looking before, but yeah, I think using the patented gameplay mechanic thing is going to be a huge issue for any competitor of Nintendo's. Like, once you open Pandora's box that Nintendo can sue you for making a game similar to theirs, they're going to go after everybody. They're going to go after everybody. I can't get on board with that. Sorry. Polygon. Palworld devs blame Nintendo Pokemon lawsuit for disappointing game changes. They said despite starting the post by apologizing for its inability to be fully transparent during the litigation, Pocket Pair struck an unrepentant, I'm not angry, I'm just disappointed tone in the update. It made no attempt to dress the changes up as positive, admitted frankly to its disappointment over them, and asserted the invalidity of Nintendo and the Pokemon Company's patents. Well, if you're in a lawsuit with them, you know, you can't really back down, right? You can't. So, yeah. So Nintendo and the Pokemon Company's lawsuit alleges that Palworld infringes several patents they hold for gameplay in Pokemon games. The suit does not concern the visual design of the Pals, despite many observers saying that they bear a striking resemblance to certain Pokemon. They might not be able to. What they're doing, what I think they were doing, is they knew this game was going to be a huge threat to them. So I think they looked for whatever angle they could to cost them as much money as possible and hopefully put them out of business. And again, Sony is betting heavy on this, and that's just going to be some salt in the wound for Nintendo, because there's a history. There's an unpleasant history there. They are rivals. So they said the nature of the patents were initially vague, but research and a subsequent statement from Pocket Pair confirmed they related to catching and releasing Pokemon using Pokeballs and riding Pokemon. Yeah, this is concerning. I think Nintendo are behaving like giant asses in this case. And I think any competitor of Nintendo's, you should be afraid. You should be afraid of Nintendo, because if they win this, they're coming for you next. Oh, Sega, you've got a game where you walk from left to right. You've got a mascot that walks or runs from left to right and collects a bunch of metal objects and gets through a bunch of numbered levels, Sonic Mario. Yeah, we're gonna hit you with a patent infringement suit or something. You know what I'm saying? Like Nintendo will go around and they'll just like patent every damn game mechanic they can. They have one that was like playing hide and seek and seeing the shadows or something like that. I think it was from one of the Zelda games, and they were gonna patent that. I mean, again, the patent laws are different in Japan than they are here in the US. In the US, you can't patent or trademark game mechanics. So it's just like, to the best of my knowledge, or game rules, I guess, because this is going to be used for Nintendo's benefit to basically get rid of the competition, right? That's what I think they're going to do with it. And yeah. So anyway, here are some of the comments. Not very many on Polygon. I think anybody reads Polygon anymore. This person said, imagine being able to patent general video game mechanics. This literally breaks about a third of video games that have anything to do with animal companions. Pretty soon, games like Monster Hunter and Witcher will be targeted by these ridiculous excuses for patents. In time, Nintendo will patent making a video game and then try to destroy the entire gaming industry in an instant and win billions from every company and person in the world who's ever made a video game. And they'll become the true gods of the gaming world. Their path to world domination is on its way. Yeah, I think this sets a very dangerous precedent. I do. Like, we can argue whether or not they just blatantly ripped off Pokemon, but if they can shut them down or cause them irreparable financial damage that effectively destroys their company, they're gonna go after other people too. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Why don't they just change them to cubes instead of balls? Pokecubes. Pokemon patented having an animal carry you as a glider. That is a really obnoxious patent. Yeah, it's a patented gameplay should be much harder than it is. None of the Pokemon in 2025 is novel. None. In 1992, maybe, but we're way past the expiration date. Yeah. I mean, a lot of games use these kinds of mechanics and they're not getting sued because they're not a threat to Nintendo. That's my personal opinion. The Verge has it. Palworld had to remove game features because of Nintendo lawsuit. They said Nintendo first filed its patent infringement lawsuit in September of last year, and Pocket Pair initially said that we were unaware of the specific patents we were accused of infringing upon, and we have not been notified of such details. However, soon after the exact patents, the heart of the lawsuit were revealed, and they covered elements like riding characters and throwing balls in a field. Despite the forced changes, Pocket Pair says that we remain committed to developing Palworld and delivering exciting new content to our fans. The next major Pokemon game is Pokemon Legends Z to A. We'll see how many mechanics that are similar to Palworld are in that game. Yeah, this is stupid. Yeah, patenting game mechanics is stupid. This seems irregular. Has there been some sort of injunction? Says Dilly McMoo. Dilly McMoo. Or are they pulling a Tim Cook and making their own product worse to turn users against the competition? Means they either thought they were going to lose, says Brian Ford, or thought the odds of losing were too great to spend the money to litigate the issue, weighed against how easy it appears to have been to create a workaround mechanic. I think that is it. I think they don't want any downtime. They don't want to take the game off the market. There was talk that they were going to delist Palworld. And again, they have that Sony deal. I'm guessing what will probably happen is they'll make the changes for now. If they win, they'll just revert things back to the way they were. Unless the changes are better. I don't know. They said it's a perfect situation for Pocket Pair to flex their creativity, says Koyu, and do something new and make a mechanic their own. They just need to stretch their imagination a bit and make a similar mechanic their own. So while people hate the lawsuit, it kind of does force them to innovate. F Nintendo, riding mounts, something exclusive to the Pokemon franchise. Yeah. And then of course we're going to have people that are going to be like, Nintendo can do no wrong, guys. Nintendo, they're the greatest. I think it's stupid. I think it's idiotic. I'm going to wrap it up. There we go, guys. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.